Hello everybody. Welcome to iExamBee's Legal Bee. This is Amrita, your law faculty here at iExamBee. Embrace the iExamBee learning experience with us. And if you're preparing for any competitive examinations, then don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel Legal Bee and stay tuned with all the upcoming videos, notifications, strategic videos for these examinations and also the important and relevant content practice questions as well, like this series that I have started for SEBI Grade A Legal Officer exam preparation. In this, I'm discussing the most important 300 MCQs cumulatively from all the subjects. आज के वीडियो में हम लोग सेल ऑफ गुड्स एक्ट कवर करने वाले हैं. Before we start with our questions, I would suggest all of you that immediately subscribe to our YouTube channel. बाकी के वीडियोस भी आप प्लेलिस्ट में जाके चेक कर सकते हैं. कोई भी डाउट्स हो, रीच आउट टू अस बाय एनी ऑफ द फॉलोइंग मेथड्स एंड ऑल्सो चेक आउट आवर ऑनलाइन कोर्सेज with demos available on iExamBee's website. Download our app for 50% fast job preparation. This is part number 8 of my series. If you have missed the other videos, the first 7 parts with different topic questions have been covered. Do check them as well. Sale of Goods Act is the subject that we are going to discuss today. First question, when the property in goods is transferred to buyer, risk dash means what will happen about the risk in relation to the property, in relation to the transaction that is taking place. Risk also passes to the buyer. Risk passes to the buyer if delivery is made. Risk does not pass to the buyer if delivery is made. It passes to the buyer after 6 months. It passes to the buyer after 3 months. So the correct answer over here is A itself. Section 26 of Sale of Goods Act talks about risk prima facie passes with the property. So when the property in goods is transferred to the buyer, at that time only risk passes with it. So whatever happens, the liability of that risk has to be borne by the buyer as soon as the property is passed to the buyer, whether it is delivered to him or not, irrespective of that. Nemo dat quod non habet means let the buyer be aware something in return. No man can pass a better title than he possesses, than he has. Everyone can pass a better title than he has. None of the above. Very simple. Correct answer is C. No man can pass a better title than he has, because this is very basic principle, and in property laws you will study this. Sale of Goods Act you will study this. So if a person is not having a title better than what he possesses, how he can pass that further? The breach of condition in a contract of sale of goods gives the right to repudiate the contract, claim for damages only. Both of the above, either of the above are correct. Claim for a specific performance. So when there is a breach of condition in a contract of sale of goods, it gives the right to, correct answer is A, repudiate the contract. Section 12, conditions and warranty, clause 2 talks about this. An agreement to sell becomes a sale when the time elapses, the conditions are fulfilled, subject to which the property in the goods is to be transferred. The seller transfers or agrees to transfer the property in goods to the buyer for a price. All of the above, either A or B. So an agreement to sell becomes a sale when? The correct answer over here is E. Either the time elapses or the conditions are fulfilled, subject to which the property in the goods is to be transferred. Section 4 talks about sale and agreement to sell. This statement has been picked from the 4th clause over here. In an agreement to sell, the property in the goods is transferred in past, in future, in present, either of the above, none of the above. Property in the goods and the transfer relating to that, deliveries, इन सब चीज़ों से काफ़ी questions पूछे जाते हैं. Conditions and warranties, ये सब चीज़ों से काफ़ी twisted turned questions आ सकते हैं इस topic, इस act से. The correct answer is B, in future. The property in the goods is transferred in future as per agreement to sell. Let the buyer beware is represented by the Latin phrase of caveat emptor, casual emptor, consistent emptor, condition emptor, both B and D. This is very simple. Within seconds you can answer. This is very common term, Caveat emptor is the correct answer. Section 16, implied conditions as to quality of fitness. Caveat emptor means the let the buyer be aware. Which goods are dealt with under the Sale of Goods Act? Future goods, movable goods, immovable goods, actionable goods, all of the above. Correct answer is but obvious B, movable goods. Sale of Goods Act only deals with the movable property. It has no relation with immovable property. For immovable properties, transactions relating to that are governed by the TP Act. For this TP Act also and this Act also, both the acts and their applicabilities should be very well known by everyone. What is a specific good as per Sale of Goods Act? Goods identified and agreed upon at the time of a contract of sale is made. Goods identified or agreed upon at the time a contract of sale is made. Goods to be manufactured or produced or acquired by the seller after the making of the contract of sale. Both A and C are correct. Both B and C are correct. So specific goods as per Sale of Goods Act, if we talk about, it is goods that are identified as well as agreed and agreed upon at the time a contract of sale is made. Section 2 clause 14 covers the definition of specific goods. Under the Sale of Goods Act, dash has been defined to mean a mercantile agent having in the customary course of business as such agent authority either to sell goods or to consign goods for the purpose of sale or to buy goods or raise money on the security of goods. Buyer, seller, agent, mercantile agent, none of the above. So dash has been defined to mean a mercantile agent having in the customary course of business as such agent authority to sell. So the correct answer over here is D, mercantile agent. It was very simple to guess that also from this definition wordings itself. बट दिस इज स्पेसिफिकली डिफाइंड, ये आप पढ़ सकते हैं अगर आपको इसके जगह कोई और फिल इन द ब्लैंक पूछा जाता है या कोई और टर्म को ट्विस्ट टर्न किया जाता है. यू शुड ऑल नो द डेफिनेशन ऑफ मर्केंटाइल एजेंट एज पर सेक्शन 2 clause 9 of the act. As per Sale of Goods Act, dash means every kind of movable property other than actionable claims and money, includes stock and shares, growing crops, grass, things attached to or forming a part of the land which are agreed to be severed before sale or under the contract of sale. Goods, property, future goods, specific goods, both C and D. Correct answer is goods. This is what is the actual definition of goods. Section 2 clause 7 of the Act. What is price as defined under Sale of Goods Act? Money consideration for sale of goods, money consideration for purchase of goods, money spent in profit of purchase of goods, money spent in loss of purchase of goods. Correct answer is A, money consideration for the sale of goods. Section 2 clause 10 talks about the definition of price. Voluntary transfer of possession from one person to another is transfer of property in goods, delivery of title, full delivery. It's a simple question, but sometimes looking at the options you get confused. But it is very simple. It is the definition of delivery covered under section 2 clause 2. 13th question, which of the following is not true? Existing goods form the subject matter of contract of sale. Future goods form the subject matter of contract of sale. Goods owned or possessed by seller form the subject matter of contract of sale. Both B and C are correct or none of the above. It may happen that nothing is false over here. All are correct statements. That is none of the above. Both B and C, future goods form subject matter of contract of sale or not. Goods owned or possessed by seller form the subject matter of contract of sale or not. So the correct answer over here is E, none of the above, because all these statements are correct. Existing or future goods, section 6 covers this, which is covering this point. Sale by sample is covered under which section of Sale of Goods Act? Section 17, 16, 15, 14, not covered under Sale of Goods Act. So sale by sample is covered under section 17 of the Sale of Goods Act. Important topic it is, sale by sample and sale by description. So I would suggest everyone to study this. Property in goods transfers to the buyer as soon as the contract for sale is entered into, only after the goods are ascertained, irrespective of the goods being ascertained or not. even if the goods are unascertained, if contract for sale is made. Only if goods are ascertained as contract for sale is not made for unascertained goods. So the correct answer over here will be, as per section 18, I have missed to mention the correct answer over here, but property in goods transfers to the buyer, as it is mentioned that they must be ascertained. Even if when the contract of sale was made, at that time the goods were unascertained goods, but later on the property will transfer only when the goods get ascertained. So the correct answer over here will be, only after the goods are ascertained, then only the property in goods will transfer to the buyer. Irrespective of the goods being ascertained, ये भी गलत ऑप्शन है. As soon as contract for sale is entered into, ये भी गलत ऑप्शन है. अगर अनअसर्टन गुड्स हैं तो वो अनअसर्टन गुड्स असर्टन होनी चाहिए. Only then the property will transfer to the buyer. So the correct answer over here will be answer number B, only after the goods are ascertained. Seller is deemed to be an unpaid seller when whole price is not paid, when half or more than half of price is not paid, when negotiable instrument has been given and has been dishonored. A and C both are correct. A, B and C, all of them are correct. Now unpaid seller definition, many times this question is asked. Even the rights of unpaid seller, all these things you have to study well. Famous topic from Sale of Goods Act. Correct answer over here is D. A and C are correct. Second वाला ऐसा कोई कंडीशन नहीं है कि हाफ प्राइस अगर होगा तो ही अनपेड सेलर होंगे, या मोर देन हाफ प्राइस पेड है तो ही अनपेड सेलर होंगे. नो, ऐसी कोई कंडीशन नहीं है. सेक्शन 45 डिस्कसेस अबाउट अनपेड सेलर. इन दैट दीज टू कंडीशंस हैव बीन मेंशन्ड. बिल ऑफ एक्सचेंज भी उसमें आप ऐड कर सकते हैं नेगोशिएबल इंस्ट्रूमेंट के साथ, अगर वो कंडीशनल पेमेंट कंप्लीट नहीं होता है एंड देयर इज सम काइंड ऑफ डिसऑनर ऑफ द इंस्ट्रूमेंट और अदरवाइज. Who has the right of stoppage in transit? Seller, unpaid seller, buyer, insolvent buyer, insolvent seller. Correct answer over here is B, unpaid seller. Right of stoppage in transit is when the goods are already in transit. They are in traveling. They are going to reach the buyer soon. So at that time, the unpaid seller is having the right of stoppage in transit as per section 50. When the buyer of the goods becomes insolvent, at that time the unpaid seller is having this right. Insolvent buyer या insolvent seller नहीं होता. Insolvent buyer जब होता है तो उसे right नहीं मिलती, unpaid seller को right मिलती है because वो paid नहीं है. And as soon as he gets the money back, he may resume the possession. He may keep the goods with him. He may have a lien right over it till he gets the payment. When part delivery is made, seller has no rights that are left with him. Seller can exercise lien on the remainder. Seller can exercise lien on whole of the delivery. Both B and C can happen. Buyer can exercise lien. So when there is a part delivery that is made, at that time what will happen? Are there still any rights left? Yes. The seller can exercise a lien on the remainder, not on whole of delivery because already partly it is made. So he can exercise lien on the remainder. The objective of lien is fulfilled even if we are exercising lien on the remainder part of delivery. Section 48 covers this part delivery, in that it is covered. When the goods are in a deliverable state, when they are in such a state that the buyer is bound to take delivery of them, when they are in such a state that seller is bound to take delivery of them, when the seller and buyer both are ready to take delivery of the goods, when the seller and buyer are not ready to take delivery of goods, when the goods are prepared. So when are the goods in a deliverable state? Deliverable state, this is also asked many times in exams. Correct answer is option A, when they are in such a state that the buyer is bound to take the delivery of them. Section 2 clause 3 covers this. Goods are said to be in a deliverable state when they are in such a state that the buyer would under the contract be bound to take delivery of them. Last question for today. When the goods are sold by description, the goods shall correspond with the description as an implied condition. The goods shall correspond with description only if there is an express condition. Goods shall correspond with description impliedly if it is also sold by sample. Goods shall always correspond with description irrespective of express or implied conditions. Goods shall not necessarily correspond with the description. So when the goods are sold by description, in that case, The goods shall correspond with the description definitely, and that will be happening as an implied condition. There is no need for an express condition for that because the sale is by description. Sale by description is covered under section 15. Sale by sample is under section 17 and sale by description is under section 15. In that it is made clear. That's all for today. I hope everybody is taking benefit of all these questions. I would suggest all of you to download these PPTs and keep these questions with you for your practice. In case of any queries, reach out to us directly in the comment section of the video as well or by any of these methods. Prepare 50% faster with us. Don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Download our app from Google Play Store and check out the full course access available. Thank you everybody.